I lost everything, not in one day, not in a single catastrophic moment. It happened quietly, bit by bit, like a house emptying itself one object at a time until all that was left was air and silence. I didn't even realize it at first. That's the dangerous part. You think you're just tired, just stressed, just going through a phase. You make excuses because the fall doesn't look like a fall. It looks like forgetting to return calls, like canceling plans last minute, like sleeping in your clothes and eating cereal for dinner. It looks like functioning on the outside while falling apart on the inside. I lost my job. I didn't see it coming, but in hindsight, maybe I did. There were signs, missed deadlines, less eye contact, a growing discomfort every time I walked into that building. But when it finally happened, it still felt like the ground gave way beneath me. Then came the end of my relationship. We stopped talking about the future. We stopped laughing. We stopped being we. It ended quietly in between unspoken words and too many silences. And then when all that had crumbled, I lost myself. The version of me that had goals, drive, direction, even opinions. I became a blank page with no pen in sight. I tried to hide it. I smiled at the right moments. I replied to texts with emojis. I kept up the appearance. But inside, I was disappearing. Every day felt like waking up to a version of me that didn't care. Not about work, not about people, not even about myself. I wasn't depressed in the dramatic sense. I was just gone, faded. Number days passed, then weeks. I stopped keeping track of time. I stopped noticing when the sun set. I would spend hours staring at nothing. I wasn't waiting. I wasn't planning. I was just there, existing, breathing because my body knew how, even when I didn't care to. I didn't tell anyone. What would I say? Hey, I think I'm vanishing? I knew they would say, you're just going through a rough patch, or you need a vacation. But it was deeper than that. It wasn't burnout, it was erasure. I miss myself. That's what hurt the most. I miss caring. I miss laughing at dumb things. I miss looking in the mirror and seeing someone I liked. I tried the usual things, lists, goals, habits, but nothing stuck. Motivation wasn't just low, it was non-existent. Even hope felt like a stranger. I didn't want advice. I didn't want books or podcasts or 10-step solutions. I just wanted someone to say, I see you, even like this. But no one said that. So I started saying it to myself. I whispered it in the mornings when I didn't want to get up. I mumbled it at night when the silence was too loud. I see you, even like this. And somehow that mattered. One day I made my bed, not because I believed it would fix anything, but because it was something I could finish, a small win in a world that felt like loss. Another day, I opened the window. I let the air in. I didn't step outside, not yet, but I let the world in, just a little. I watched leaves move. I heard a dog bark. I noticed light hit the wall in a way that felt like a gift. I didn't heal all at once. I didn't wake up with purpose or passion, but I woke up. That's where it started. I showed up to life quietly. I cooked one meal. I texted one friend. I stood in the shower a little longer, letting the water remind me I still existed. Slowly, the fog began to lift. I remembered how much I loved walking without headphones, just listening to the city. I remembered how coffee tastes when you're not just gulping it down. I started journaling, not to document achievement, but to say, today I made it through. And that was enough. I stopped measuring my days in productivity and started measuring them in presence. Did I notice something beautiful today? Did I feel something, even if it hurt? Did I speak kindly to myself, even once? Those became my milestones. I found beauty in the ordinary, in washing dishes, in folding laundry, in watching water boil. These moments didn't change the world, but they started changing me. I realized I didn't need to rebuild my old life. That version of me, that version of everything, was gone. And maybe it was never meant to return. Maybe I was never meant to return to it. Maybe the point wasn't to recover, but to rediscover. Not what I lost, but what I could still find. I began to redefine success. It wasn't money, it wasn't fame, it wasn't even happiness, it was honesty with myself, with others. It was waking up and knowing I wasn't pretending anymore. It was admitting when I was tired, when I was afraid, when I needed help. It was forgiving myself for not being okay. It was letting go of timelines and expectations. I stopped comparing. I started connecting with people who didn't need me to be on, who could sit with the silence and not try to fill it, who saw my scars and didn't flinch. I learned to be with myself in the same way, to stop running, to stop fixing, to just be. Some days were still hard, some still are, but they don't scare me the way they used to, because now I know losing everything doesn't mean losing forever. Sometimes it means clearing space, making room for a version of you that couldn't exist before, one that's softer, more patient, more alive. If you've lost everything, I won't tell you to bounce back. I won't say it gets better in that overly bright way people do when they don't know what else to say. I'll just tell you this, you are still here, and that means something. That means everything. You don't need to rush your healing. You don't need to prove anything. Just breathe. Just notice one thing today. Just be kind to yourself in the smallest possible way. And if all you did today was survive, I am proud of you. If all you did was get out of bed, or maybe just think about it, that matters. You matter. Even like this, especially like this. The world needs your story, not the polished version, the real one. The version where you fall and stand again, where you cry and still try, where you feel empty and keep going anyway. That's the version that will touch someone. That's the version that might save someone. So please, keep going, even slowly, even quietly. Keep going. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are becoming. And that is everything.